This is Dee, and this is the Come Up Straight Up. This is Dee. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. Well, guys, I am back with a new video, and this video is was requested by one of my ride or die subscribers, Denny, and the topic of this video, as you can see by the thumbnail, is introverts and dating tips for introverts. This is a topic I know a lot about because I myself am an introvert. But before we get into all of that, you guys, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, as well as my second channel, Pretty and Things, and turn on the notifications, guys, so you are aware whenever I upload a new video just like this one. Okay, let's get it. So what is an introvert? What is the definition of an introvert? Is an introvert the same as being shy? Are they the same thing? I went to a dictionary.com and I found the actual definitions. Introvert is defined as a person who prefers calm environments, limits social engagement, or embraces a greater than average preference for solitude. Shy, a person who is shy, is defined as a person who is nervous or timid in the company of others. Now, it seems to me that a shy person would naturally be an introvert, but an introvert is not necessarily shy. Now, as I have mentioned previously, I am definitely the definition of an introvert. And growing up, I was definitely shy. But now, even though I still have that sort of natural shyness in me, I am an introvert who is not necessarily shy anymore. And you guys, if I can sort of get myself out there and overcome this, so can you. Let me explain, you guys. Let me tell you a story of how bad it was for me. Because, you know, when you're like this, it starts young, you guys. It starts in childhood. And I remember an incident. I was in 7th grade, and we had to do a speech. It was a required speech. And I went to the bathroom, and I was in there just like crying, shaking. I was so upset because I was petrified to do this speech. It's like, I can't do it. I mean, I was freaking out about having to do this speech. But, and this is why no one can tell me that God is not real. No one can tell me that God does not exist. It just so happens my sister, who was in 8th grade, I was in 7th, she was in 8th. Just so happens she walked into the bathroom at the same time I was there. And she saw me crying and upset, and she's like, what's wrong? And I told her, I have to do this speech. I can't do it. Like, I was petrified to do this speech. She then went to my class and she spoke to the teacher, and she told her how upset I was, how I was in the bathroom, so upset. The teacher came into the bathroom and she saw me, and you know how upset I was, and you know, and she saw me in like serious distress. And once she saw that, she's like, okay, you don't have to do it. And this was a required speech. But the teacher saw like how much anxiety, like it was for real for me. Like this was like, I was freaking out to the point that the teacher gave me a pass. She did not make me do that speech. So you guys, if I can go from that to doing this, there is hope for anyone. So here are my tips to introverts who also happen to be shy. Here are my tips on getting yourself out there into the dating world. Number one, do not apologize for needing your solitude. If you are an introvert, you need some time to yourself, and that's just what it is. However, you have to commit to change. You have to commit to not spending your life in complete solitude. If, in fact, you want to get out there and date, then you cannot do what you have always done. You have to understand that you are going to be uncomfortable. You should be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable in order to affect change. Number two, do not see being an introvert or even a shy person as a negative, because there are so many positive aspects to being an introvert. Introverts have this air of mystery. They are discreet. They don't want to be the center of attention. And you guys, you have seen these people who will do anything and act a fool and do anything because they crave attention. Introverted people are not like that. And that is a positive thing. Introverts don't tell their business or anyone else's. They are generally not clingy. They are good listeners. And introverts are generally easy to get along with. All of these qualities are very attractive to men. Think about it. People tend to see quiet, reserved women as classy women, right? I think back to Princess Diana, who, when we were first introduced to her, she was known as, they called her a shy dyke. Over the course of time, she evolved and grew into her role and her philanthropy, and was known to be someone with a great sense of humor. However, she always sort of retained that air of shyness, and that made her just very relatable and authentic. Typically, high quality men do not want a loud, aggressive woman who needs to be the center of attention all the time. Now, when it comes to dating, you have to understand that first dates will be difficult for you, and that's okay. If you are online dating, you are a person who has to speak to that man on the phone. Don't you dare accept just texting, because you need some level of comfort when you meet this man before you meet him. Next, you have to understand that the man you want may not be the man you need. You need a man who understands that you need space sometimes. And that need for space doesn't mean that you're angry with him. You also need a man who enjoys having his own space. But he also has to understand that you need that quality time. He needs to spend quality time with you and wants to spend quality time with you. The man you need is not in the clubs every week or run around with his boys every week. That said, you also have to be open to a guy who will pull you out of your shell. Someone who likes to go out to dinner, who will take you to dinner or to, a comedy club or a jazz club or something like that. who will take you around people, someone who maybe enjoys being around people, and put you in a situation where you begin to enjoy and feel comfortable around people because you have this comfort level with him. As an introvert, chances are you will never be into skydiving, but you have to allow people to get you out of your shell. Next, and this is extremely important, when you are dating someone, you must resist the Netflix and chill, because it's so easy for an introverted, shy person to use that as the default, right? The problem is when you do that at the beginning of a relationship, you are setting the tone. Whether you are an introvert or not, one of the worst things a woman out in the dating world can do is allow a man to believe that he does not have to put forth effort. No effort is required to be with you. I have often spoken about the necessity and benefits of roster dating. As an introvert, this will be a challenge for you. So accept that. But also accept that it is a necessity. You must have a roster. Even if it's a small roster, you date a couple of men, but you have to get yourself out there. This is a means to make yourself more comfortable with being out there. It also prevents you from getting attached to a man who is not attached to you and falling back into old habits. Do the things required in the dating world. Having a roster is a means to protect yourself. Having a roster is practice. Even if you text with men that you have no interest in, it will enable you to vet them and be clear on what you do want. And it will also give you practice in cutting them loose without feeling any remorse or guilt. Basically, ghosting them. You have to be able to do these things. And it's okay. When you get out there in the dating world, do not play it safe by dating only one man. Because I can assure you, chances are he isn't dating only you. If someone who is introverted or shy plays it safe, ultimately, more often than not, they end up settling. Next, surround yourself with people who are outgoing and people you want to emulate. That is what I did. I surrounded myself with people who were bubbly and outgoing and fun. And that is what helped get me out of my shell. The people around us rub off on us, whether good or bad. We sort of absorb, when they talk about, you hang out with someone and they're a bad influence. Well, there are people who will be good influences as well. And so when you surround yourself with these outgoing, bubbly, more extroverted people, some of that will inevitably rub off on you. While it is important in life to show up as your authentic self always, in order to get yourself out of the house and out there, create some little alter ego in your mind. Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. You're Beyonce, and then when you get your makeup on, get your hair done, your nails done, and you are ready to go out, you are going on a date, you are in that mode, you are Sasha Fierce. You know what I mean? And Sasha Fierce is outgoing and likes to have fun and confident. You guys, sometimes you do have to fake it until you make it. Feel the fear. but do it anyway. Of course, you're going to be nervous. Of course, you're going to be uncomfortable. But so what? You're not going to die from being uncomfortable. You have to do. I don't care how many videos you watch. I can talk until I'm blue in the face. It doesn't matter. None of this matters unless you do it. You can watch other videos with, similar advice or different advice. Hell, advice that you find more helpful than mine. And that's okay. But none of it matters unless you commit to change and do it. That's it. There's that is and will always be the bottom line. Sometimes we use these labels, introvert, shy, or whatever. We use them as excuses or justifications to stay where we are. Well, I'm not going to do this, or I can't do this because I'm an introvert. It's difficult for me. But because something is difficult for you doesn't mean you can't do it. Do not allow whatever an introvert means to you to define you. Life is short, y'all. I mean, it is. Can you look back on your life and the age that you are? For me, it's like boom. I can't. It's just it has gone by so quickly. What do you want out of life at this point? What are you willing to do? What changes are you willing to make? At the end of the day, this is on you. And there's nothing me or anyone else can say that will ever change that. Feel the fear and do it anyway. There is no other solution but that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, thumbs it up, you guys. And please, please, please do not forget to follow me on Instagram. And you guys, just FYI, I will be embarking on an online dating adventure. I will be giving the details on my live stream on Thursday, August 5th, I believe it is. Yeah, August 5th. And you guys, please tune in for that. It will be fun. The live stream, Girl Talk Live, begins at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Thursday, August 5th. Do not miss it. So until next time. Mwah.